Hey everyone, this is Brendan Prout coming to you from worshipteamcoach.com. Just a real quick video on how to make better charts for your team. Now, everybody has shown up to a rehearsal at some point in time and been handed something that looked like it was typed out on a 1950s typewriter and then mimeographed and then smudged with ink, and it's unreadable. So all of us who are responsible for making charts, I think we can serve our teams by making better charts. And we've got just a few very practical tips for how to do that. First of all, at the top of the chart, include a roadmap. If it is verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, bridge, chorus, chorus, write that down. And you can use abbreviations like V, PC, C1, V2, PC2, C2. These things make sense, and most musicians know what they mean. And even if they don't, you can explain them. But it's super helpful for all of the members of your team if they know what to expect as they're looking at the components on the page. Include the meter and the tempo. That's also super crucial, because if somebody's rehearsing at home with a metronome, which is something we ask them to do, if they're being faithful to that, we want to be faithful to them by providing them the information they need in order to practice along. Now, we want to use a font that is legible and legible at a glance, something that they can just glance at and see it. Good fonts include Arial, Helvetica, Avenir, and Century Gothic. Now let's talk about some bad font choices. Courier, Cambria, Times New Roman, Impact, or any serif font. If you don't know what a serif font is, Google it. Now, we do want to adjust our margins as well for maximum printing area. That's super helpful for everybody. If you make sure that the letters aren't in the center of the screen where they have to squint, but they spread out and take the whole page, that's going to be super helpful for being as effective as possible in putting what you're going to put on that page. Indent sections. So if you have verse 1, put that title, bold the title, and then indent that verse that follows it. And then after the pre-chorus, which also should be bold, indent that section. It makes it easier visually for us to read if each section is set apart slightly. And we're not talking you need to indent it 10 spaces. 4 spaces is usually adequate for our eyes to visually pick up on the difference and be able to glance at it and go, yeah, that's a section. Leave the section titles left justified. Stick them all the way over to the side. Again, it just helps us to visually track what we're looking at on the page at a glance. What we're trying to encourage is that these become visual roadmaps, visual references for an instant glance only. Not that somebody's fright reading and they're stuck glued to it, but we want to provide them confidence that if they lose track of where they're at, they can glance down, know in just a split second, here's where we're at, and pick up and be right back with us. That's what we want to set our people up for. Use bold. Use bold for the titles of different sections. Use italics where there are notes. Oh, we're going to build this section. We're going to circle back around to the intro vamp. You can use that. Use bold for the chords. This is key to at-a-glance reading. And don't bold the lyrics. You want to leave those plain so that the chords stand out for those who just need to glance down and see what's happening. If you're creating charts for your vocalists or visual media team, I recommend doing a different set of charts that looks differently. They don't need the chords. Make it simple for them. Don't repeat sections. So if you've got the same chorus repeated 3 times, don't go verse, put the chorus, second verse, and put the same chorus again. Once is enough. We know we're going to be repeating that section. Just keep it simple. And this is hard. It's hard for a lot of us to make our own arrangements. Don't copy blindly off the internet. Chances are it was put out there by some really well-meaning person who didn't quite get it right. Don't even rely solely on song select from CCLI. Yes, CCLI can be wrong. They can have wrong lyrics. They can have wrong chords. In my experience, they bat about 85% for correctness. So always, always proofread and always have a second set of eyes look at the chart to make sure that what you're putting out there for the team is actually correct. There aren't mistakes, because guess what? My team finds mistakes in my charts every week, and I correct them and we move on. It's not a big deal. But the fact that they're paying attention, if I get an email early in the week saying, hey, you posted this chart and there's a mistake in it, or a question, did you really want to do a C over F instead of a C over E? Well, that could be an awkward inversion depending on what key the song is at. So I love that when my team finds my mistakes. I don't really put them in there intentionally, but they happen. And whenever possible, use one page only for your chart. This makes it possible to use with your tablet for on song, next page. It saves trees if you're being a good steward of our ecology when you're printing, and it makes for better flow in live worship rather than having one song take up 3 to 4 pages so that you have every individual section note for note. That's not what we're really going for. Again, we're trying to equip our people so that they can, at a glance, see the roadmap, see the chords, see the structure, and get confidence that they know where we're at and they don't have to live and die by that page. They can take it off the page, put it in their heart, and be able to focus on what the team is doing and what the Lord is doing and worship Him. So, top ones include the meter and the tempo. Include scripture references too for the songs. If you know them, they're always very helpful. And most of all, ask your team what would be helpful for them to include when you're making your own chart arrangements. I hear my team arriving for rehearsal now, so I better get going and make sure that the charts are correct for them right now. See ya. God bless.